When people start to leave you open, ooh, that 15-footer feels like a full court shot.
Yo, rotate off Blake. Yo, don't rotate the Blake. Stop Blake. When you start being the stunt man, it's over. Yo, peace. Welcome back to 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. I'm Carmelo Anthony here with my co-hosts.
Hi, guys. Good to be back. Monica's here. MSG Networks, ESPN, Hoops Analyst.
Hey, and it's your boy. I'm back. You know what I mean? The Kid Mero, the human durag flap, and this is a Wave Sports and Entertainment original presented by FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Baby, today we have a very special guest in the building. Yo, dog, you know what time it is, man. 6-time NBA All-Star, college player of the year in 09. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I had to put the year in there, though.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? 'Cause the last time the Yankees won the World Series, you know what I'm saying? It's a special place in my heart. You know what I mean? The year he officially made his debut in the league, he was an All-Star. He won the slam dunk contest. I don't know if you remember, he jumped over a car, guys.
Car, y'all.
You know what I'm saying? He was the rookie of the year. Not to mention, his Chuck impersonation is unmatched. Not even Chuck sound like Chuck like that. You know what I'm saying?
The amount of sayings that I've added to my repertoire. I used one of yours the other day when when one of your putts was close and you said, "Man, they got a cure for everything except lockjaw. Nobody want to give me these 3-footers."
Please welcome the guy who flies high, you know what I'm saying? The lob god himself, Blake Griffin in the building, my guy. Welcome.
Thank you.
To 7 p.m. You know what I mean? Welcome to the hook.
That was impressive.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Welcome back, though, bro. Like,
hey, thank you.
Welcome back, because they've been fucking with me about you, man.
Hey, yo, listen, it's crazy to me because I'm like, yo, I watch everything like game film, you know what I'm saying? I love this shit. I love this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm locked in every episode, as you should be. You know what I'm saying? So I'm reading the shit and I'm just like, bro, they talking to you like you the CEO.
I'll be replying
call your
back,
man up. What's good?
I respond back.
Yeah, he's active. You know what I'm saying in the comments. You know what I mean? Yo, fam. But you know what I'm saying? I'm back. Yeah, that's cool and all of that. But my guy.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to him.
Before we get to Blake, you know what I'm saying? We got our guy.
Special.
Mr. White Hat himself. You know what I'm saying? Legend, bucket getter, you know what I'm saying? One of one, and now Hall of Fame nominee, champ.
Wow.
I'm happy about that.
Very special.
The annals of history.
Very special.
You know what I'm saying? Are you feel me? Like, as Knicks fans, it's just like, bro, yo, this is a dog. And as a hooper,
it was surprising.
What? You surprised?
Meaning,
See, no. Hold on. Can I say anything yet? I've known you a long time. Don't do that,
though, bro. You didn't let me finish.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised by it.
No, I'm surprised.
I'm trying to take the score, but
okay, my bad.
How soon?
Okay.
It came.
All right.
The nomination came. Because usually it's 5, 6. You know, they change. I guess they changed the rules. So when I got the call,
Wait, hold on. Is it 3 years?
I guess.
Well, that's not important.
That's not important, but that's why I was surprised that the call came.
That was first ballot?
Right.
First ballot.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
take us through the story.
What was that like?
When you got the call. Not what story in your whole podcast.
No, it's a fucked up story, though. I'm going to tell you why. Look, I was sick, like sick, like stomach, like fucked up, right?
Oof.
Poor baby.
Right?
Okay.
My assistant comes in and say, oh, by the way, you got the call from...
By the way, help you feel better.
Like, oh, by the way, you got the nomination for the Hall of Fame. I'm in the bed, like, sweating bullets, like, under the cover. Like,
honestly, we got to have a conversation. We got to have a conversation.
That's how I got the information.
Oh.
And then I started seeing as I started getting better because I wasn't on my phone.
Right.
But with that being said, like, about time.
You
know what I mean? Like, it's
100% deserve.
For me, like, that's it. It ain't nothing else in basketball that I can do. Like, that is the pinnacle. That's the door. And it's like, when you think about, like, the Hall of Famers that's already in there and the way that they open that door to you, like, that's a special moment. So I'm going to embrace this. I'm enjoying this. This whole year is going to be like the
That's
the
crazy.
Hall of Fame
That's
celebration.
great shit.
That's fire.
What kind of Hall of Fame speech are we gonna? Is it gonna be like a Jordan where you just go at people? Is it gonna be funny? Is it gonna be sincere? What do you?
It's gonna be very sincere.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna have some, because I gotta tell the whole journey.
Yeah.
Right? So it's gonna have some, you know what I mean? Some shots gonna be in there, but it's gonna be direct shots. It ain't gonna be like indirect where you gotta, who's Melo talking about?
No
Like,
sneak dissing.
no sneaky diss. But I'm gonna tell a story and I'm gonna tell it how it is. I'm gonna tell it from my point of view.
You coming peace God with
I'm
it?
coming with peace. But, you know,
Yeah,
you got to prepare for war in
I was
time
just
of
about to
peace.
say, you clearing your piece. Might be setting up some other
You
stuff.
got to prepare for war in time of peace.
Over or under, y'all, 15 minutes from him.
Is that how much time you're allowed?
No, I just threw that out there.
Said, I
just
think
threw that out there.
over. He's gonna start telling stories.
That's a fact. I'm going over. Like, this is my last time. This is
Bro,
it.
this is 28 minutes and 42 seconds, and it's
28,
doing
42. Okay.
3 million views on YouTube in
I'm
2
shutting. I'm
hours.
closing it out.
Think about
25 minutes.
Right, that's the music. You would be going through the whole thing. When you, as you set out, right, you fall in love with this game, it takes you around the world. Is Hall of Fame something that goes on the vision board? Or is it just a byproduct of all of
Nah, because it's like, that's the Hall of Fame. Like, people like us don't make that type of shit. Like, that's not even something I thought about. For one, I didn't even think about making the NBA. So better yet, Hall of Fame is like Hall of Fame. Like, we don't see Hall of Fames where I'm from. Right? So it's not until you start incorporating yourself and stamping yourself into the game, it's like, oh shit, now
Right.
I'm thinking Hall of Fame. Like, I got to do whatever I got to do throughout my career for the Hall of Fame.
Your announcement story sucked. Sorry, Mero. Yeah, you were sick, whatever, you found out.
No, that's a fact. That's a true fact.
Believe it.
we
It's
also
sucks, though. It's a
got
terrible
to have a
story.
conversation with your assistant. He's like, fridge is stocked, dry cleaners in the closet. Oh, a Hall of Fame call. You're nominated.
That's my girl. You know what I mean? That's how the information.
All right. Who redeems the story, though? Who was the first person that you told or that called you that was like, you remember their reaction? Is there one?
It's my business partner, Asani, was
We love Asani.
blowing my
Asani.
phone up. And I'm like, she don't call. She don't call. If she called twice, it's important. If you called 3-4 times, it's an emergency. Like, somebody is dying. So we called back to back to back. And she was like, yelling, started screaming in the phone. And I'm like, what's going on? She was like, you Hall of Fame.
Exactly. That would have been me.
That's, that, and I was like, it ain't there yet. I was my typical self, like, nah, it ain't.
Yeah.
It's just a nomination. Because I didn't have a chance to process it. You know what I mean? So it was like, it's just
You hit him with the code.
But when I got,
I'm not done yet.
when I started, when I got home, I'm like,
now job's not finished.
talking to people, and now it's out there, talking to people and family, and then my son was like, yo,
There you go.
that's tough.
That's tough.
That's tough. That's all he said. Yo,
As a dad, that is the highest compliment.
Yeah.
He said it just, I ain't gonna hold you, Dad.
That's
That's tough. And with a kid today, tell you that's tough.
Yeah.
Take it,
Bro,
take it.
Pack it up.
I
You
love
good
it.
for the day.
I
You know what I'm
love
saying?
it.
You good for the day. You know what I'm saying?
That had to be the coolest conversation.
Oh, man.
Yeah, because then you start going into like old matchups and his, you know what I mean, games and
He
moments.
saw it on social, or you told him?
I didn't even know, so they saw it before
Got it.
I even knew. You know
Oh,
what I
it
mean?
came out on social before you even got the call?
I'm sure my team had it, but I was
Yeah.
under the conditions.
Recovering.
Right.
I was under the conditions.
Right. So you say you was surprised, but you made
That's soon.
right, but you made the NBA 75.
Yeah.
So wouldn't that like kind of like
But you got to think that
Lead you to
when you think
believe-
about Hall of Fame, like history in NBA, like basketball Hall of Fame is like, it used to be you wait forever, like to get into the Hall of Fame. Then then it's like, all right, let's do 10 years, right? Then it was like 6 or 5 years. It's 3 years for me. I've been out the game for 3 years. So I wasn't expecting that call so soon. It was like, in my mind, I was thinking 26, 27. I already started preparing, strategizing for 26, 27. So now it pushes my strategy up a year and a half.
So what does that say? What does the 3-year turnaround say? What does it say, Blake?
3-year turn. I mean,
That it happened that quickly.
it's crazy because, we've had the opportunity to play with a bunch of great players, right? being like first ballot, like there's Hall of Fame and there's first ballot Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? Like first up, the first chance you possibly can
We
be
have to
in
think
there,
about
you're
it,
in there. Like that's what it will be. And that's like, you know, you said this is it, but like the pinnacle is like first ballot.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's like unanimous whatever award. Like that's like something special. Like I ain't gonna hold you. That's tough.
That's tough.
You know what else is tough? You pivoting from dunking on everybody and like having the most dunks on YouTube I've ever seen in my life to Amazon studio analyst. Now you out here. We know you got the chops, man. I'm a comedy guy. You know what I'm saying? Like you're out here. You got the personality for it. But we have a vet, a professional in the building. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, look, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like 3 years out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? So like, what are you expecting? You know what I'm saying? Because you out there with the homie Taylor Rooks, who is like A1 S tier, could do it all. You know what I mean? Like, do you feel like more confident, like having that support?
Yeah, absolutely. So somebody that is like what you do, like a host, when you watch them do their thing, you're like, oh, this is like a skill. It's not just like it's not just being like, all right, well, what do you think about this? It's a skill. And when you watch her, when you watch the people that are really good at it, it's impressive. It's not just like, oh, anybody could do that. So it makes me feel better having somebody like that. I'm excited to work with her. I was telling Mel before we started, like, I haven't really heard Dirk talk much, or at least recently. You know what I mean? Like he's kind of like faded into the back. He's over in Europe. He's doing his thing, but I mean, his basketball mind is up there.
Bonkers.
With
He might be the guy calling the play before the play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the Tony Romo guy.
Not in the studio, though.
That's what I love about football, like watching football, watching Tony Romo, Tom Brady, like these Peyton Manning, like you're really getting like insight into like how hard it is and what these guys are thinking and all the decisions they have to make. I feel like that's sort of missing from basketball a little bit.
Yeah, so what we ain't gonna get into the details, the specifics of the deal. We ain't gonna get into that. But I do want to know, like, because people haven't heard you speak basketball like that, right? So, what do you feel like you bring into that? Because Dirk is a basketball mind. Dirk was one of them ones. Like, you know, let's give Dirk his flowers. Like, Dirk is one of them ones. You had to strategize for Dirk. He's top 75. He's Hall of Famer. Like,
absolutely.
Let's give Dirk his credit from a, you know, as a basketball mind. He knows the game. He knows strategy. He knows how to X's and O's. With you, people haven't heard you yet. Like, how do you feel like that? Because people haven't heard Dirk yet either over here.
Not
like,
a lot.
They haven't heard Dirk. So your role with that, like, what are you bringing to that?
Well, first of all, like, I think the TNT show, Shaq, Chuck, those guys, like, it's probably one of the best sports shows of all time. Yeah. To me, it's like they're talking shit. There's not a lot of analysis, and I mean that. Like, it's a great show. I'm not talking shit. It's a great show.
But Shaq like, fall down. Like Shaq fall down trying to run up the stairs.
Hey, Shaq, man, you. And then Shaq's just like, hey, you can't go at me. You can't go at me. And then Ernie's trying to keep it on the train. Like, guys, the Hawks are up 14. Shaq's just like, I scored 14 in 4 minutes one time. It's great. I love Antonio. I love it. Yeah. Yo, but. What I'm excited to do is just like, I'm pretty fresh out, right? You know, the game change. There's always a new wrinkle that comes into the game every single year, right? You come back and the coach is like, hey, we're not doubling from the wing anymore. We're doubling across. There's always a new wrinkle. So for me, like bringing like analysis that's current is like a thing that I'm excited about. And also like being like pro player,
right?
Like, you know how hard it is to go out every single night. You have off days, you have off games. So to be able to like just like sort of bridge the gap between NBA fans and players and say like, listen, like, did he have a bad game? Yeah. He'll be the first one to tell you he had a bad game.
Right.
But and then to not do this thing where it's like, oh, he was dogging it tonight. He did.
Yeah. Just
like explain like what's going on. They played 4 and 5. Like, that's not easy.
Right.
Right? You're tired. sometimes you miss your first.
Yeah, Blake.
So beautiful.
You miss your first 2 shots.
You got a DM this morning. You fucked up my parlay. I remember. Look at this ticket.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a newness. It's a newness on how we look at the game, right? It's a freshness.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's how
so
we call
I
it.
love that. I love the intention, right? But I do think, and it'll be cool to see how you guys as a new show, you, Dirk, Taylor, like, who knows what exactly is going on with inside the NBA, will bring a fresh voice to it. But I do think sometimes, like, the critique is a part of your job now.
For sure.
Right?
I think there's a way to do it, though.
No, I agree.
Right?
I agree.
I think there's a way, like, I was talking about this last night. Like, you know, people shit on Rudy Gobert, right?
He's a regular on the show.
Rudy?
Not being shit.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
His
No.
name is a regular.
Please clarify.
Okay, so here's my take on this. Like, Steph Curry, one of the best players of all time, right? The thing that made Golden State so good is that their defense was elite. And you know what they did better than anybody else is they figured out a way to hide him. Whenever people tried to pick on him, nope. Somebody's rotating, somebody's stepping up, they're shrinking the floor, they're making calculated decisions on how to maximize him defensively, right? To me, the same thing should happen with Rudy Gobert. Don't put him on an island with Luka.
Yeah.
Figure out a way to run something, figure out a scheme. As a coach, that's all you do. You figure out scheme. So maximize your defensive player and make him look good.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm not like a guy that's like, man, Rudy Gobert, he can't do this. No. You figure out how to maximize his strengths and to downplay his weaknesses because we all have them.
That's the fact.
Right? So like that's the way you talk about sports. And like, yes, I can critique him and say like, no, he by the way, nobody can guard Luka. But like, what are we doing? Why are you leaving him on an island?
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's a terrible
7
decision.
seconds left in the game.
You're gonna switch 1 through 5 at the end of the
That's a terrible
game.
position for most people, right? For anybody. What is your relationship kind of with social and stuff these days? Because like that is only going to get louder once you hit. And not that we're worried about it, but I'm just asking because some people engage and some people like, actually, this is what I said. And I know for me, when I first got going, I was like, that's not what I said, but it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like as you get more years in the league, like at the beginning of my career, like I would hear something about myself and I'd be like, I wanted to prove them wrong so bad. And as I got older, I became very comfortable with who I was as a player.
Right.
And the same thing goes for social media. Like there's times where like I'm comfortable, I'm good, like I know who I am, and I can hear a critique, and I can be like, all right, that's fair. And sometimes I'm like, that's. I saw this one thing, the Amazon thing leaked, and there was a post, and somebody was like, man, Blake's is about as interesting as a number 2 pencil. I'm like,
disagree.
Disagree. So that to me, it's easy to read that and be like, all right, well, I disagree. I get it, but I disagree.
No, sometimes you gotta let it fly though, man.
There's just things where like now I'm just like, nah, that doesn't affect me as much, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But I do like that it keeps you on your toes, and you got to bring it.
I'm excited for y'all.
Like I said, we have
Monica try to give you the dog side.
I'm excited for y'all.
Word. So to your point, got a consummate professional here.
Okay, so I got a little quiz. Not quiz.
Oh, boy.
It's not really a quiz. It's an exercise.
Okay.
Because sometimes in studio, we got the exercise, right, Dom? Sometimes in studio, you're focused on one game, got TVs with other games, but not really locked in. And so this is what'll happen. The producer will be like, all right, we gotta go. We gotta talk about this game. Look at this box score.
Blake Griffin, man, 18 minutes, 7 for 12, 0 for 0, 3 for 5, 6 offensive rebounds, 6 defensive rebounds, 12 total rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, 4 turnovers.
Oh, wow. So let's go down to the other team. So we'll just give you this box score. You're gonna give us your analysis. Just off the box score.
Is this like on a screen or is this like paper?
The game's on the screen, but like the actual game that is the primary focus is really good and everybody's locked in. But at halftime, we gotta address this game. Here go the box
You can't
score.
look like that.
That's all you got.
I can't do that.
No clips on it.
In this case, y'all have some lived
43 minutes,
experience.
14 for 26. You know
Seriously.
what I mean? Like you gotta live that.
You know what that box score tells
He
me?
was locked in for the
You know what that box score? Oh boy, that box score tells me that we had a great defensive game plan. Like I don't think. I mean, Tyson, Jason, you have a lineup of guys that are great players, but at that point, Jason Kidd's not the same Jason Kidd. Tyson Chandler's offensively is not giving you as much as you probably needed. So like, what I would say going into that game is like, hey, we're gonna let Melo go get 40.
No, not what would you say now? What did you say?
What did I say then? Damn, this motherfucker's.
He's fucking cooking.
There's a few guys.
Those stats is crazy. Like
These are pretty intense.
Tyson was 3 for 3. That's a good game for him. I'm not a good, but that's a 3 for 3 shot 100%. They was all lobs probably.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? J Kid ain't. You know, he only shot 4 times. I probably asked him why he only shot 4 times. Ray Felton had a really good game.
Yeah, he did.
9 for 18.
I mean, you scoring almost half of your team's points. It's crazy.
That's it.
It's crazy.
Butt together.
26 shots.
I was thinking about this on the way over here.
It was 50 something. How many shots we had?
Efficient.
It was 50 something other shots out there.
Yeah.
Maybe 60 at that point in time.
Well, go down. Let me see the whole bench.
I only shot 26.
Okay.
I needed help.
0. Oh my god.
Who's the spark plug off the bench?
33 for 24.
Oh my god. 0, 0, 9, 0, 0.
You was carrying it, dog. Hall of Famer.
Those my guys. You know what I'm saying? And then we got hurt second round.
You went back to this game just now, huh?
I did. You see me just locking real quick?
Yeah.
Because this was we caught the Clippers at this time. I remember this. Like,
I remember this game.
Bro,
we
what's
caught
crazy
y'all
though?
at a time where we was like, you know what I mean? Like trying to get right. You know what I mean? Injuries here, shit like that, trying to get our shit, right the ship a little bit.
Yeah.
While you went back to the game, the exercise was for the new
analyst. I'm sorry. I locked back in.
Yo.
Come on, analyst.
But not, I mean, like, real quick, that 42 is a different 42 than it is today. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like everybody here could attest to that. Like, I feel like it's a harder 42 to get back then than it is right now.
Yeah, I mean, every year
I mean, when you just heard what he said. Yo, load up, lock in, send them right. Like, jam them. Like, you know, fall enough, like jam them. Like, load up, send somebody over. Like, shift, nail, sink, lip. Like, this is what they.
There's a few players I was thinking about.
Nobody at the nail no more today.
No. I was thinking about this on the way over here. There's a few players where, like, it feels a little disrespectful when you try to guard him. Like, he was one of those guys where, like, I think what gets overlooked was your first step. Like, everybody knows pull up, jump, everything, right? Your first step, there was times in Denver, bro, my rookie year, I'm like, all right, here we go.
Fresh out. He's fresh out.
Bro, I swear to God, I would blink, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh shit. I would like have to go contest.
He was fresh out, Blake.
Bro, it didn't get easier.
I got smarter though.
I got a little smarter, but it was kind of like this game where I had to be like, okay, how close can I get where I don't get blown past, right? Or how far away can I still be to contest a shot?
Yeah.
And it felt like nothing mattered. You know who's the same way for me in a completely different style was Dirk. It was disrespectful. Yeah. He'd shoot that slow ass, like,
you know it was coming.
And you know what it was the most disrespectful thing? Dallas had those mics on the rims, and he shot it so high that you would be forced to, it was like a slow motion sequence at the end of a movie where you're like, you contest, you turn around, the ball's not even halfway there. You're like, fuck.
Yo,
you just gotta wait for it. Was just disrespectful. Like coming in the league and having to guard these guys was hell.
Dirk,
it was hell.
Your new mate in the booth, Dirk.
Yeah.
Yo, that game, dog. I remember that game. I don't know if you remember that game.
What?
When he shot that last minute shot, bro. Like, I don't know who was guarding him, but it was it felt like it was in the air for 20 minutes.
The top of the key?
Yes.
Yeah,
in the garden?
Yeah. Yes, in the garden, bro. And I'm sitting there like,
no. That was on me.
Ooh.
I knew that. I just knew it was.
Now I remember because I felt like you was just staring like,
remember,
damn.
I think you was shooting a shot. You shooting a shot at me?
Dirk was
we talking the Hall of Fame.
I think that was me, man. And in my mind, I'm like,
but that was unguardable, bro. To be fair,
I'm like just gonna be physical with him. Don't let him turn and face, jam him. You know, he kept the ball high.
Yeah.
Don't give him no space.
Yeah.
One small space, boom. He raised. And I'm looking.
That's the statue that's at the arena. That exact shot.
That's on me.
Yeah, that was,
I don't know if it's the exact shot, but that's the form, That's outside of the arena in Dallas.
Can you imagine if they put you in the
That might be
statue?
from Miami. That's from the Miami series.
The championship. But it's the same step, whatever.
Fucking Dirk, man. Shout out to Dirk. Man. Y'all can put me back to these moments just now.
Man.
The one thing I will say though, Blake, as you go into it, and you're right, because hosting is a whole different beast. I think if you know what points you want to make and y'all are discussing and having great conversations before the lights go on, and y'all are gonna have great chemistry. This show just happens to be cameras on around a good basketball conversation.
Yeah.
Like I'm really excited for y'all.
Yeah, no, that's what's winning right now. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like the old school way of like, you know, hey, here's the play-by-play and then the color commentary and that's it.
You still need that.
You know what I'm saying? Like you need that, but like
that.
adding that extra element to it, I feel like elevates
people
everything and brings more people in.
Consuming it differently now.
Yeah.
So it's like, for one, it's so many places to consume the game now. The games, there's too many games going on at one time. So hopefully, the companies that got the deal for the next 10, 11 years, like they figure that part out because it's too much being spaced out to watch at one time. And I think they got to work together, like with the calendars and schedules and all of that. NBA got to work with. But I say that to say the newness and the freshness is not about creating something new. It's about taking like what's already been done and like revitalizing that. Like the nostalgia of the game, the build-ups to the game is missing. Like there's no more like, you know, like Bron coming to the Garden should be a story. Like these KD and those guys coming to, when MJ came to the Garden, Bob Costas was on that mother. He did the monologue. You get what I'm saying? Like, oh man, this is what
Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
He made you lock in.
Yeah.
Right. So I think figuring out how to create that nostalgia again, because if you don't, you're going to continue, the game going to continue getting away from the generations, right? And you're going to start feeling, these older players going to start feeling very, very disrespected because the game is being pulled away and there's no more emphasis on the history of the game no more. There's no more.
I think bridging the gap between, like, I think there's the biggest disconnect maybe ever between casual NBA fans and NBA players. And a lot of people are talking about the ratings being down. People are talking about, well, you know, I hear some people be like, it's because of load management. And you're like,
you just learned that word.
You just figured out what that meant.
And you defined it incorrectly. But, okay? But it's a family show.
Like, you know, there was times when I was like in Detroit, the training staff would come to me, and now everybody's training staff is, you know, they got this Australian dude, this guy, sports science. They come to me and hey, workload's been really high. We want to rest you this game. And I wanted to play. So like, it's not always on the players. It's not a player just being like, nah, I don't want to play today. It's like you're listening to these sports scientists, like all these people are getting paid to tell teams like, hey, we need to rest this guy, all this stuff. So like bridging the gap between NBA fans and players and sort of like making fans realize that like, hey, like, you know, no, guys do want to play. I realize there's a lot of injuries, but like think about like if you're paying somebody now, they're going to be making $80 million.
Good gracious!
You're paying somebody that much money, like of course, yeah, I'd rather him sit out this game and play the next 20. So there's a disconnect to me between the NBA fans and NBA players and teams right now. And it's just about bringing that back. But you're right.
Fucking people parlays up.
No, that's a real thing.
That's what it's about.
$80 million just made me go like this.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
Do you feel, though, a responsibility? And Melo, this to you, too, right? Like, everything is not for public consumption.
Yeah.
And so, like, there's a line of, like, I'm going to educate y'all on how this actually works. And then there's also, obviously, a brotherhood that y'all have lived through.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right?
Definitely. I mean, there's I feel like we always talked about, you know, on teams. I remember the Clippers teams, we'd always kind of like see certain guys would be like, man, he's a first take guy, like where he's as soon as he's done playing, he's going on first take and he's airing everything out. And you always kind of keep that front of mind. And I don't, I'm just not that guy. I've never been that guy. But yes, there's definitely a line where like some certain stuff doesn't need to be said, right? But there is a way to do it and you know make people realize like or see it from our perspective, I guess. But yeah, that's very true. I don't want to cross that line.
You don't want to get a tea? You're not gonna give us the piping hot tea, Blake?
Nah, you can't. That's where like guys who are former players who start getting into media and tea and like they cross the line, and then they lose that trust between the players and them, right? Of them and their voice, because you it's to his point is you don't say certain shit.
Turn to fucking Jose Canseco.
You don't talk about certain shit. You know what I mean? Like it's certain shit that stays in the locker room. It's certain shit that stays in the bus. It's certain shit that stays just amongst players.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's the staff and coaches don't. I mean, eventually everybody talks, but that's how it's supposed to be. You don't talk about that no matter what.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what they saying in your ear. You don't talk about that.
All right. I respect it. I get it.
You beg to differ?
No. I don't. But I think.
But you know what it is, though?
Where'd you get that?
You know what it is, though? As a fan, though, like
It does change.
Like,
Let's go on.
No, it
like,
changed.
let's
I
keep it
agree
a
with
buck.
that. I
Like,
agree.
as a fan, like you kind of want to know, like, yo, why did they? What did they say to each other there? You know what I'm saying? Like in that huddle, like, or what did you know what I'm saying? Like, because if this is your team, you know what I mean? You follow your team, you're a fan. I'm like, yo, Blake and Melo, man, they was in the huddle, bro. Like, and Melo was like, went like this to Blake, and Blake was like, yo, chill. Like what was that about? You know what I'm saying?
Make me look like a bitch. In that scenario, you could have just been like they had a disagreement.
They butted heads in the huddle. You know what I'm saying?
I will say this though too. What is perceived by fans sometimes as T is like everyday competing at a high level,
regular shit,
right? And so there is this perception. There can be a perception of like, oh, they keeping it a buck, like they giving us inside information, and it's levels, obviously, right? Like, no, you are just an average fan, and we're talking about NBA players. We ain't even really get to nothing hot yet, but we're just explaining and offering more perspective.
By the time the casual fan or fan get the information,
so
much shit done went on and passed by
telephone
behind the scenes.
100%.
You know what I mean? Yeah, the fans is getting it already broken down, multiple very opinionated. Everybody got their own stories. And a lot of times it don't be the story that we actually go through as an athlete. So that be our discontent with the fan. It's like, y'all don't know what the fuck going on. Like, we dealing with this. We're dealing with injuries. We're dealing with the shit that we got to deal with. By the time y'all get it, it's already broken down already. It's watered down by the time you get it.
Okay, so
and then now you hate us. From big upsets to game-winning drives, the NFL playoffs are better with FanDuel. Because right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, guaranteed. That's $200 in bonus bets, win or lose.
Whoo, that's Johnny Manziel money. The FanDuel app gives you everything you need for live bets, same game parlays, and everything else you could think of. Plus, when you win, you get paid instantly. Ain't no waiting. You know what I mean? So, Melo, listen, man, how you feeling about your Ravens?
Showtime.
You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. You know what I mean? They got that wild card game against the Steelers coming up and dangerous.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I don't want to do this to my brother Russ, man, but we got to, y'all in the way. But I'll definitely be using my FanDuel app to check out what parlay I can set up for that game for sure.
All you got to do is visit FanDuel.com/7PM and join today. You can get started with $200 in bonus bets.
That's FanDuel.com/7PM. Make this playoff season unforgettable with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. You would think graduating from the game means slowing down and taking things easy, but I'm busier than I've ever been for sure. And I need a fitness regimen that can keep up with this season of life I'm in. Fortunately, there's Peloton, a great tool for adapting your routine to your needs and schedule, no matter the season.
And no matter where you are, the challenge is always there. Because with Peloton's all-access membership, you can work out anytime, anywhere, like at home, on your bike, your tread, your row, or on the go at the gym with the app. You know what I'm saying? You can do it anywhere.
Peloton's variety of stretching and recovery classes ensures that you can keep your body moving at 100% and prepare for the next athletic challenge, be it running, cycling, or one of the many other disciplines that Peloton has to offer.
They got a lot of them, man. From strength training programs to get ready for game time, you know what I mean, to meditation and yoga for post-game. Peloton got what you need, you know what I'm saying, to keep you on track to achieving your goals.
So find your push, find your power with Peloton at onepeloton.com.
We got you fresh out of retirement, Blake, but there's an opportunity. There was a world where if you had signed with the Celtics, maybe you have an opportunity to pursue and chase that ring. Not interested. What was your thoughts? What was going through your mind?
No, I thought about it. Man, I had 9 surgeries in my career. Like, I every surgery it takes a little bit longer to get back from. my last one was like, it was a noticeable, like I step on the court, I can't do the things that I want to do. Like I can see it happening. I can't do the things that I want to do. It takes a toll, right? And basketball is the thing that I love the most in this world, love doing the most. And when you can't do it at the same level or even like to a fraction of the level that you want to do it at, it becomes harder. Like it was a thing that I had to like get over, and I wouldn't say I struggled with it, but it was like always on top of mind for me. Like I just can't play the game the same way I wanted to. And I always kind of thought in the back of my mind, like once I get to that point, like it's time.
I mean, but to your credit, later in your career, you did adjust your game. You know what I mean? And you were still out there being effective. You know what I'm saying? So what was that like? Was that like a mental thing? Was that like yo, I'm getting in the gym with so-and-so. I'm doing the Melo, 2 dribbles, phone booth drills.
I mean, that was like when I talked earlier about like, hearing criticism early on in my career. The thing that ate at me the most was like, I love basketball and I worked as hard as I possibly could, right? Like I hired a shooting coach after my first season. Completely retool my shot. It took time, but I put that time in, right? And it ate at me that people just labeled me as this, and like I care. Like we all know there's certain guys that they're talented. Mm-hmm. They don't really work, and like it's fine. They're able to go out and contribute and be a good player, but like to me, I was always like sort of envious of that, like that mindset, because I feel like I cared too much, and it became like it crippled me sometimes. Mm-hmm. So for me, like trying to transitioning my game started day one, like where people saw me shooting threes, like at the end of my career. That started my first season. You know what I mean? You can't wait till like, oh shit, I can't jump as high anymore. Now I gotta work on my shot. That started years before, and like hundreds and thousands of misses in gyms.
Right.
And it was frustrating, but looking back, I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I started then, because otherwise, like I would have gotten to that point where everybody's they want a power forward who can shoot threes, and I'm left behind. I would have probably been forced out, 5 years earlier if I couldn't. So.
So it was in the bag. You just didn't deploy it until you absolutely had
to. No, I wouldn't say it was in the bag. I had to work at it. I got better at it, but no, it wasn't in the bag. It was like a mental thing too, because by the way, you've never had this in your life. When people start to leave you open, that 15-footer feels like a full court shot.
Yo, rotate off Blake. Yo, don't rotate the Blake.
Yeah, that's crazy.
When you start being the stuntman, it's
like a carnival game.
Man, hell no. You're like, oh. Bro, in my first All-Star game in LA, I check into the game. I'm nervous. I catch the ball at the wing. I shoot a jumper. I hear Paul Pierce at an All-Star game. Paul Pierce is like, man, he with us. I was like, not here, bro. Not here. I didn't need that. It's like, come on.
It sounds like very Paul Pierce.
100% Paul Pierce.
You know what I'm saying?
So no, it wasn't always in the bag. I had to work at that.
But speaking of working at things, you know what I'm saying?
That's funny.
That brings us to our 7 p.m. moment. You know what time it is, 7 p.m. fam. It's a special segment brought to you by Peloton. You know what I'm saying? This is where we ask you, Blake, to reveal a moment in your life where it was like, yo, Blake's got to go this way or Blake's got to go that way, but whichever way Blake goes is going to determine my future.
Ooh, damn, you're asking some real questions.
Come on, baby. It's like the high-low matrix out here.
You know what? Like when I was my first like true free agency where I had a decision, I chose to go back to the Clippers, and then 6 months later I was in Detroit. I look back at that and people were like, man, that must have been awful going from Melo. And I was like, nah, because it was a very defining moment for me in my career to be away from that and to show people that like, nah, I'm playing, 75 games as much as I possibly can. I'm playing as hard as I can. I'm trying to take that team to the playoffs.
Right.
It was like a proud moment for me because it was kind of like that first time where it's like you're not in LA, you don't have Chris Paul next to you, you don't have like all these guys, and you got to go get it. And I'm thankful for my years with CP, with all those guys, because I learned how to like bring people along. I learned how to like be the leader. Every night you're expected to go out and like in LA, I could have an off night. CP might have 30. JJ might go off for 25. Right. DeAndre might have 20 and 20. Jamal Crawford might go get 30. Yeah. But like Detroit was a little bit different, right? Like different dynamic. And so like that moment of like being like, you know what, I'm going to go back to LA. I'm going to re-sign with the Clippers. That was like a real like fork in the road for me because I could have left. And I wouldn't change anything if I had to do it again. Like I would do the same thing.
I love that.
Damn. So like, coming in, like when you said checking into your first All-Star game, like it was a nervous moment, but like after that, like it was like, yo, I've been doing this, bro. You know what I mean? Like, did it feel like that, or was it just like, was it nerves every time? Because like, you know, it's the All-Star game. There's things at stake. But
the first All-Star game, oh my god, bro, I'm on a team.
Your first
All-Star game still good then?
2011.
Where? I feel like it was.
LA.
When they was
That was right before you went to the Knicks.
Oh yeah.
I remember on the team on the bus, everybody was like, "Man, put Melo on the East bus. Put Melo on the East bus." Like it was
shitting on me out there, man. Yeah, that's crazy. Man. Bing held me down, man.
Yeah.
I mean, bro, that first All-Star game, you're with Kobe, you're with Melo, you're with like the other team is like that's everybody who I looked up to and idolized growing up, all on that team.
And did you go in there like, yo, I'm gonna play my game, or did you go in there like, yo, I'm dunking on all of these motherfuckers?
To be honest, man,
get your first bucket easy.
Yeah.
Get a layup.
Wait, the game was after the dunk contest, right?
That whole week, I played the rookie sophomore game.
You
was
was wrapped up.
Yeah, it's different.
Okay,
I was exhausted.
Friday is different than Saturday.
I can see you exhausted.
Yeah,
Friday is different than Saturday. Saturday is different than Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Like Sunday, you feel elevated from the whole weekend.
Yeah,
right. Like okay, now it's the show. That's how you feel.
Yeah,
and he was the show though.
That's what I'm thinking of dunk contest.
Like let's not get that twisted. You know what I mean? Like Blake was the show.
Yo, and to
even for us as vets, like
facts.
Blake is with us.
Yo, like he's jumping out the gym.
He was whatever.
What's Monica's point?
Fuck, you got Kid, you got ownership. You got ownership in Kid?
No.
Come on, man. Like, Kid,
you did put Key on the map.
Bro, come on, man. That was like the first, that was like a big sponsor at that time for the NBA.
I remember being at
that
home
partnership.
like, no way he about to do this.
Dog, and after that, it was like, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Hype for the weekend, you know what I'm saying? He was hype.
You know what happened though after that? People were like, he didn't jump over the car, he jumped over the hood. I'm like, have you seen the...
Are you serious?
You want me to jump over a mid-sized sedan?
There's a wide body, dog.
The whole thing?
There's always more.
No,
bro, it's...
After that, you had a commercial about being in the zone for Kia.
Mm-hmm.
That commercial I thought was so great. I still think of it. It's a great commercial.
Champ, you was like the OJ that hurts. You was like that the Kid, champ. You was like that. Yo, Kid, I gotta break my guy with some equity over there. Like, give him his own car or something. Like, let him design his own car or something. The Blake Mobile, man.
Not the Blake Mobile.
The Blake Mobile is nuts.
That is not sleek at all. Sounds clunky. So, can't shoot.
Pulling up to the arena in the Blake Mobile, getting out and dropping a 50 burger. You know what I'm saying? Like, what did that feel like? It's just like, you know, there's some guys that like, you know what I'm saying? They're like, yo, you know, I dropped 50. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, but
Blake 50 was loud though. Like,
oof,
it was a loud 50
at the rim.
Yeah, because it's gonna be a couple dunks, somebody a couple posters. He start hitting his little.
They hitting the camera in the rim
three and shit. You know what I mean? He start hitting. If he hit his first three, it was gonna be a good night for him.
Yeah.
So I'll let him speak.
It was a great breakdown. I got no notes. Yeah, I mean that was part of like what I was talking about in Detroit. Is like it was a much more rewarding go get 50. Like I had 47 my rookie year, a little different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I was when I was in Detroit, I was like putting everything together. You know what I mean? That was like that moment where what I'd been working for my whole career is to like get the respect of like, oh, okay, he's like he's put all these different things together.
Got off the porch.
Yeah. And my whole career, I was always trying to prove that I could do that. You know what I mean? But at the same time, not losing sight of like who I was and what got me there. That's like my advice to young kids now. Like everybody wants to like they want to play like this guy or this guy, but like you got to develop your game. But like, don't forget what got you to this point.
Right.
You know, like you're a great rebounder. Go be a great rebounder. Yes, work on your three. Do all this different stuff, but like play to your strengths. You know, and don't let, because everybody wants to tell you, like, hey, this guy can't do this, he can't do that, and you want to prove people wrong. But you got to be able to like still go do the things that you do well.
Right. And you say you don't really mind social too much. My fault, Monica.
Go ahead.
You say you don't mind social too much like that, but like that, like I feel like the Blakeomaniacs saw that as like the Renaissance. You know what I mean? Like, bro, he got 50? Like not incredulously, but like, yo, like at this stage, you know what I'm saying? Like, and like Melo said, it was a loud 50. You know what I'm saying?
So from my perspective, as you said, the brotherhood of the NBA, the players, like, even though we as players didn't want to see him lead the Clippers because that's like, you know what I mean? They had something special over there.
Yeah, Lob City, though.
But also, we wanted to see him spread his wings.
Okay,
it was time for him from our standpoint.
I'm so glad you said that, because my next thing to you, Blake, was about to be like, yeah, the Clippers was icon, Lob City, whatever. Yeah. How much of
Timothy Mozgov,
the whole crew, the whole crew. You go to Detroit, you don't have sort of the supporting cast, so you're not a part of the same supporting cast. But how much of this, in terms of unpacking the rest of your game, is about scheme, teammates versus you? Because you could argue that you could have tried to make a muck of it and prove all this stuff in LA and it wouldn't have worked. But by the time you get to Detroit, you're well into your NBA career. You've got a different mental capacity on it all. Obviously, you've worked on your basketball craft too. So then the question becomes, how much of this in the arc of a career, y'all, is so dependent on the system you end up with, the guys you're alongside?
It's number one.
Period.
The system is number one.
Yeah.
The system is number one.
How many coaches then, I guess, and this is me, a little basketball nerd, I guess, are there still players coaches or systems coaches? Like, what are we dealing with?
So, no. I would love to hear your take, because I speak on this, and I would love to hear your take on that.
Or you're saying, are there more system coaches than there are players coaches? I mean, I think there are, like, in my mind, there are only probably 4 elite coaches. Like coaches that are like you watch their defensive game plans, you watch their off, like you're like, man, he's got it. You know, like and they do it with good teams, they do it with bad teams, they do it with talent, they do it on off nights when guys are resting. You can see it, right? So I think that's why I was saying, like, I want to be pro player when I'm talking about sports, because like you have to put guys in situations to be successful. I see it time and time again. We had guys come to the Clippers. We had guys come to certain teams. I'm like, I love his game. And we just didn't use him the right way. And sometimes it's not just about me being like, oh, post, like, you know, being like, let's get you the ball here. It's just about like the whole, like including them in something, or just like giving them the space to be themselves. Yeah. I think that obviously everybody that makes the NBA is talented. I think that most of the time when guys don't have like the career we expected them to, or the year, the season, whatever it is, it's because they just weren't put in the right position.
And you think a lot of that start from the very beginning, though.
Yeah.
Like draft, you talking about?
From day one. Like, that's why you might see these high draft picks. A lot of high draft picks that get drafted high go to these not so good teams,
building
teams, right? Let's just be honest. So you're going in there to kind of, you bring in what they think you could bring, right? So if you are let's take the kid in Alex Sarr, for an example, right? You go to the Wizards, who won 9 games or some shit last year. Now, as the number 1 pick, you have to go in there and be the number 1 pick right away. There's no room for development for you unless you're going to be sitting down, right? Because now you got to pick up with the pace. So now your development time has slowed down, right? Because you're not playing as much. You're not getting the game minutes. You're not getting the reps. That shit adds up. I'm not saying that the Wizards is not a good system. My point is these high draft picks is going to these teams. So now you don't see them until year 3, year 4, sometimes year 5. But then you have these systems, right? San Antonio is a system, right? Miami is a system. These are systems, right? Budenholzer he got a system, right? So when you have these systems, you plug and play. No matter who's in that position, this is what you're supposed to do in that position. So you have those type of coaches who is very systematic, and then you have probably player coaches like a T. Lue, right? Who players consider is a player's coach, where he can mix and match star players and figure it out and strategize and utilize his true strengths to make this team work, which is why those coaches get the credit a lot of times, because they got to put the work in to make this team work, right? Pop gonna always get his credit because he's a system, and sometimes the system worked this year, sometimes it don't. But if you look at career, the system works. So it's a big difference, and it depends on where you go to, where you get drafted to, where you get traded to. Right, because you could be one player in Charlotte and then go to the Clippers, and you can't do that no more, right? You take somebody like Bones Highland, right, who is a very talented player. I love him as a player and as a person. He can't be himself because that's not the role we need for you over here. So we need this specific role. If you're gonna be willing to give this to us, then cool. If not, then cool. We're gonna find somebody else to plug and play. But if he goes somewhere else that allows him to play his game, you would see a different Bones Highland.
Right. Yeah.
So that, to me, that's like that. Those are just examples of that.
So then, what allowed you to stay ready then? Because Detroit was obviously a different experience, or were you just waiting for that runway?
No, I mean, it was just all the work that I did leading up to that. Like I was ready. You know, like my time with the Clippers, like you're not going to see me facilitate as much. We got the best facilitator possibly of all time.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Like, why would I do that when we have the best one on our team? We all played, like, a lot of people tried to make it seem like we didn't like each other. That was just, it was not the case. I was talking to JJ Redick about this.
That was a TV show, man. That's why.
It's literally a TV show.
Which, by the way,
we'll get into that.
I don't want to talk about it.
The only question I have is, you got chops. Were you offended that you were not cast? You know what I'm saying? And like Blake Griffin as himself.
Or consulted, at least.
It felt like when they did the casting for my role, they were like, I mean, I guess we could dye his hair red. They were just like, we got nobody. There's nobody that looks like this motherfucker.
It was from Sterling Eyes. It was how he saw you.
Yeah.
From Sterling Eyes.
That's crazy.
Oh, no.
He put him in the just for men.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's good.
Through the lens.
That's hilarious.
So, but we always talk about how CP3 will go to a team and like completely change the culture of that team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, did it in Phoenix, did it with the
Oklahoma
Clippers,
City.
did it Oklahoma City.
Houston.
Doing it now.
Yeah, doing it now. Like
New Orleans.
New Orleans. What is it about him? Is he a vocal leader? Is he like a lead by example guy? Is he all of the above?
He's both of those. I think the thing that I probably got the most from him was like every possession, like you watch Chris Paul turn the ball over. I bet the chances of him getting a steal that next possession are probably the highest in the league. Yeah. Like he would get so upset that he just turned it over. He was figuring out a way to go get that ball back, right. And like that's the competitiveness. That's the thing that I learned from it. It's like no, every possession matters. Like think the game, be a step ahead. You know, he's working 4 to 5 to 6 different things at one time, right? And it was like him sort of bringing us along as young players. Me and DeAndre were like the young guys, right? Like bringing us along, trying to teach us like how you do this every single night. Like that's what everybody sees the assists, right? Everybody sees the mid range, the step back, whatever, the floaters. Everybody sees all that.
Yeah.
The thing that people don't really see, and that's what people don't really understand, is like his competitive drive and his hunger to win. Just a regular season game is pretty unmatched, and that's like a thing that you have to be reminded of that. Like especially the regular season, man. Right. You're playing game 63 on a Tuesday in Indiana, and it's easy to kind of go in there and just figure it out.
Not now.
But no, not when you're playing.
Now it's live over there now.
Oh yeah, all right, my bad. Charlotte. sorry, Charlotte.
If Charlotte's on Amazon, like, you gotta talk better than that. You got Charlotte in the group.
You know what?
But regular season is important.
Yeah.
But that run was live, yo. For NBA fans, that was an incredible run. And also, it resulted in some, like, iconic, like, memed out, like, just to this day, like, type of dunks. Like, I just blurted out Timothy Mozgov before because he got baptized, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and that's supposed to forever. You know what I mean? Like, what's that like? You know what I mean? Because it's like, you know, your career is storied. You know what I mean? Like, you did a lot of big things, but like those moments, you know what I mean, in like history, like, you know, like as a Knicks fan, like the Starks dunk. You know what I mean? Like moments like that was just like, yo, that was crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you go back in 20 years.
You
yo,
thought
this
that
guy,
was on Jordan? You thought he dunked on Jordan? The Starks dunk on Jordan?
he dunked on the whole team,
He
gang.
was in the
The
poster.
whole team.
He dunked on all
He
of
was in
them.
the poster.
He dunked on all of them.
Why you do that, Melo? Oh my
God.
Do that.
I'm not fucking with him. I'm not fucking with him. I miss you, dog. You ain't been here in a while. You know what I mean?
Come on, Chan. That's all
I'm
you already know.
sorry. I'm
He
sorry.
dunked on the whole game. He dunked on Jerry Krause out there, dog.
That's
You saw what I'm saying? Fuck out of here. Knicks, baby. Let's go. New York forever.
Oh, shit.
That's hilarious.
Yo.
What stands out though? That part, the basketball part Mero's talking about, or obviously the part that becomes a docu-series or whatever you want to call it, dramatization. Like that was such a moment in terms of like the NBA at large, culturally, the way it all goes down. But when you reflect on it, is it the basketball or is it this thing that really could have, it did in fact kind of turn the tide in the league?
The basketball is like the basketball is the thing that I will, like games, like that Clippers team, like that's what I'll miss the most. Like we were just like we got to training camp, 4 or 5 years together. We know the whole offense.
Yeah.
We know we're running a floppy set. JJ's coming off a pin down from DeAndre. He catches if he has the shot, he's shooting. If not, DJ might step up. If he doesn't, he's swinging back to Chris Paul. I'm on my way up to set a step up.
Yep.
Yeah. Like our offense was like check downs. Like we had got to that point, and it like looking back, it's like it eats at me that we never won because we had it. We were so good, and there was a lot of teams that were good, but we figured it out.
Yeah.
There was, for some reason or another, there was always something, right? It was like an injury, a mental breakdown in the playoffs that just cost you. But when I look back, like, it's always about the basketball.
Right.
And the basketball brought on all that other stuff, but man, the basketball, like, that was fun. That was like the most fun.
Right.
When you're on a team like that and you all genuinely care about each other and you're going out every night and every night you step up, you're like, no, we're winning this game.
But y'all also had the energy in LA too.
Yeah.
Right? Like, with the Lakers being on the other side, right? So to elevate it to the point where it's like, hold up, like the Clippers are in town. Like that felt good. You know what I mean? Like now you got to really prepare for the Clippers going into LA. It ain't just
the second game
for
of
the
the
Lakers. We're going to play the Lakers tonight and then tomorrow we got the Clippers at 4:00.
Yeah.
Like get them out so we can hurry up and get back. Like that wasn't the energy no more. The energy was, shut up, man. Yo, you got to get, we got the Lakers and we got the Clippers. Like this is a big trip coming out here.
Yeah.
They had it rocking out there, man.
A lot of person. I mean, it was like, I'm curious, in Denver, like that team in Denver, when it was like you, Kenyon, Marcus, AI, like you guys had like a Hall of Fame personality and also talent roster.
For sure.
That team had to be nuts.
It was fun.
In a good way. In a good way.
It was fun.
It was fun.
As a fan, it was
Bro, that team was
tremendous
so
to watch,
fun
bro.
to watch. I hated playing against
like
them.
you never, at this point in time, I'm coming into my own in the league, right? It's like, we got Denver rocking. Like if y'all come to Denver, we getting after it. And that was stardom, right?
Mm-hmm.
When AI came, it took it to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Because now it's like he got his own shit going on. Like he got his own world going on coming into Denver.
Yeah.
And now this is mine. So now AI, I need you. Like, fuck that. Like, I need you because I'm tired of trying to do this shit by myself.
Mm-hmm.
So he understood the assignment. And when we came together, the way that we was moving, it wasn't just we was rock stars. It was the Beatles. Like, we was moving AI the way AI was moving. Then we had, JR was young. KMart was KMart, you know what I mean? Moving the way he was moving. Like, but one thing, we was loyal to each other. Like, we had each other back. And that's what made us good on the court. We probably didn't win, but as a team, that made us who we was on the court. We knew, and we knew, and we knew. Kmart knew. Melo and AI shoot the balls, man. That's Camby, you go block. You know what I mean? Rebound, block shots. I'm here to play. I'm here to do. Kmart here to play defense, be the tough guy. You know what I mean? Be the muscle on the team. And now everybody, JR, when you come off the bench, shoot that motherfucker. Like, I don't want you second guess nothing.
Yeah. Right.
You get what I'm saying? So everybody knew, to your point, we knew our roles. So when we go play against big time teams like the Clippers, it's like, oh shit, this is a different energy coming into the Staples Center now.
Yeah.
Right. It ain't purple and gold. It's red, white, and blue. And they got it rocking. It's sold out before you even run on the court. It was a different energy.
It for sure was, yo. Listen, we got the Peace God Hall of Fame announcement. You know what I'm saying? You're not there yet. You got a couple years. You know what I'm saying? But you are eligible for the Nasty Jersey Hall of Fame, dog. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know where you was going at with that.
You know what time it is, man. It's 7 p.m. It's time to get nasty. You know what I'm saying? Part of the left, you know what I mean? But this is a segment where we, during your travels in the NBA, there might have been some jerseys that you threw on that didn't look quite right.
Yeah.
Oh,
We inducted him though, right? I want to see what his was. I think he got
you know what I'm saying? Like, we got to hear what you got to say. You know what I'm saying? Bro, 91? 91? What you got, left guard, dog? That's nuts. My son was that number. And they're pulling him to block for the running back.
I mean, that's basically all I was doing with the Celtics.
Blocking for
Hey, Blake, listen, you're going to play maybe every other game at best. I was just starting pitcher.
Oh my God.
Games you need me.
Right.
I got 3 outs for you.
That make you feel even worse though. You got a nasty number on and you not playing.
Man. I'll tell you, Boston though, man, I loved Boston. Like, I love those guys. I was so happy for them when they won. That is like a different experience. When you playing as an opponent there is one thing. You go play there, all those people are rocking with you who used to just be yelling crazy shit at you.
It's
all
wild.
those people are rocking with you. Dude, I mean,
Twilight Zone.
And you got to understand that, dude, I played in LA for the Clippers.
Mm-hmm.
I played in New York for the Nets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, those are two, like, it's a Lakers town, it's a Knicks town.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first time I really played for a team where it was like, no, everybody in that city is rocking with you.
Yeah.
I mean, I went out to dinner 10 times, no check. You know what I mean? Like in Boston, I'm like I said, I'm playing every 5 games. I'm not even like
on the minimum. You was on the vet minimum. That's why
that was a real locker room guy.
They was looking out for us. That shit happened to me too. They was looking out for us.
Like, oh man, poor Blake. You know what? This one's on us, buddy. Like,
91 is nasty though, champ. 91 is disgusting.
I was like, is this a Dennis Rodman tribute?
That's when you don't give a fuck as a player.
That's like when you go to rec and you just pick the one out the pile. Like, this one fits.
Yeah, I'll take that. You know how many numbers are retired in Boston?
Oh, fair.
yeah.
No, this kept happening to me. Detroit has so many numbers retired.
Yeah.
Brooklyn has a lot of numbers retired. I was going to be 50.
Jersey.
Oh, they
right?
brought over Jersey.
Yeah, they brought over Jersey.
I couldn't figure out a number in Brooklyn. I'm like, all right, like
You went 2.
That's
You know what? Man, I wish I could pull this up. I'm like going through all the numbers, like, what number can I be? And then you got whatever 15 guys who already have their numbers. Clippers, I was 32. In Detroit, 32's taken. Like 15, like all these numbers are retired. So I'm scrambling for numbers. And I don't know. Somebody was like, "What about Rodman 91?" I'm like, you know what? Fuck
That's
it.
how they viewed you. That's what I'm trying to say.
I set myself up.
That's how they view you, man.
What about
You know what?
91?
They give you the number that
I
identifies
stand by-
how they view you.
What about 91? Like, how did we get there?
I stand by 91. The one I don't love is number 2 in Brooklyn. I don't love that one. I'll stand by the Boston 91. The 2 is just like
that's the Boston Bruins jersey. The 91 is nice.
I stand by it. You guys
What's the 91 for you?
At goalie, number 91, Blake Griffin. You know what I'm saying? Yo, before we get you out of here,
holding number 91.
illegal penalty. You want to sound like you're
Eligible receiver downfield.
Illegal formation. You know what I'm saying? Penalties decline. They just close up on you and you're just like,
That's all me, guys.
Quarterback's patting you on the head. It's all right, champ. It's all right. Yo, before we get you out of here, I mean, this is the number 1 show in America. I've been telling y'all that since day one. And this is the number 1 segment in America. It is called Fuck With It or Fuck Out of Here, where we ask you, our esteemed guests, about anything happening in pop culture that is in the zeitgeist. And you tell us if Blake Griffin fucks with it or if it's a, man, fuck out of here. I do not like this.
Fuck out of here. I got it.
Sidebar zeitgeist.
That's what's birthdays. You know what I'm saying? Fuck out of here. I got it. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here.
A lot of times, every time I see that compilation come up on social media, I'm like, yeah, I'm watching this. It's just Melo by himself. Fuck out of here. I got it.
You gotta make the game fun.
That's one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
That and Al Horford ducking on the free throw. Oh man, those are great.
That's the Dominican, bro.
Not ducking on the free throw.
Anyways, my bad. Go ahead.
Let me see, Papa.
Yeah.
Let me try this. So first up, Jimmy Butler, you know what I'm saying, is fed up. And he wants everybody to know it, dog, because he said it. You know what I mean? During the post-game conference, he was not shy at all, dog, about expressing his feelings and his discontent with the organization. He said, I want to see me get my joy back from basketball, wherever that may be. Oof. Nobody on the Heat seems to be taking him seriously. Between Pat Riley saying that they will not be trading Butler to teammate Kevin Love, trolling him on Instagram. Love reposted a clip from The Godfather Part 3 during which Al Pacino says, just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. You know what I'm saying? Using the caption, Jimmy, after yesterday's news. So this is making the rounds, gang. Like,
you know what happened on Godfather.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Look how he masked my boy. So fuck with it or fuck out of here. Jimmy Butler's approach to getting traded from Miami is out of pocket. Fucking with it or fuck out of here.
That's a sick situation because niggas don't do that to Pat.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, that's real shit. Like, that niggas don't do that to Pat. You know what I mean? It just don't happen. So for somebody like Jimmy, who's super strong-willed, like, it gotta be something that's seriously happening to Jimmy, either mentally, internally, he's dealing with something, or like he said, I don't want to be here. Like, I'm not happy here no more. Like, it's not a happy place for me. And a lot of people would take that and laugh at that. Like, you gotta really hear what he's saying. Like, I ain't happy here. If I ain't happy, that mean I'm going home not happy. That mean my family ain't happy. My kids ain't happy. People that work for me ain't happy. Like, my environment is just a negative environment. So, I done told you this, Pat, probably. Now I'm going to go. Now it's out.
Yeah.
I'm not happy here. Since you keep playing with me, I'm not happy here. So do what you got to do to get me out of here.
Man, I think there's it's crazy what he said. Like, nobody does this to Pat Riley.
No.
So I kind of fuck with it, and from that perspective, you're like, oh shit, all right, okay. I mean, but Pat's had D Wade, Shaq, Alonzo. I mean, the list of players, no one's done it. So I'm like, all right, I like that. Like, Jimmy's like kind of like, you know, I think there's a better way to go about it, you know, and Jimmy's like an all time, like, I mean, he loves doing shit like this. Like, he loves it, and part of like I love comedy. I love to laugh. That shit's funny. He's got his braids a different color every night.
Emo, man.
It's every night. You gotta have fun with it. You gotta do things. I think there's a better way to go about it.
Jimmy, man, come on, come sit on the couch.
Come on, dog. Let's talk about it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, will you fuck with it?
No, but I would say because I wouldn't do it that way.
Yeah.
So I can't say that I fuck with it, but I do think it's hilarious.
Entertainment value.
You know what I mean? It's entertaining. I just think like, because now it's happened multiple times, right? Like, if this is the first time he wants out of Miami, cool, I get it. No problem with that. But remember Minnesota,
Philly.
remember Philly.
Yeah.
Now in
Chicago.
So you only have a certain amount of times you can do that. Right.
Can't
I think it's entertaining, but I think if
The NBA
to really get what
crazy.
he wants, he probably would have had to like play it a different way. But
Yeah.
you know,
But he's always been on that type of time, bro,
He's
with the
always-
emo
and-
bangs and all that.
that's why I'm cool with it because that's just who he is.
But this is serious
This-
business now.
Especially at this point in his
you know
career,
what I mean? Like
too.
it's serious business. Like
Yeah.
this could really fuck you up, right? Going into your next situation,
Yeah.
right? I'm speaking business now,
Mhm.
and it's like the thing I don't like is that Pat came out and said, no matter what, we ain't getting rid of Jimmy,
Mm-hmm.
right? So when you say that, you took a stance.
Right.
So now Jimmy want to get out of there so bad that your back is against the wall. You're gonna have to make a move, and now you got to go back on your word. Like just leave it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I think the communication is lost. Just from what I see from the outside, the communication is lost. I don't think there is no communication. I don't think there ever was communication, to be honest with you.
Here's my thing, though. Because everybody wants to be rid of one another,
Mhm.
if the market was there, that it's going to get done.
But don't see. So to Blake's point, everybody in the market is looking at it like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So this is why I'm saying you gonna fuck yourself up for the next situation because it's like now we can't really trust you. We don't know if you're gonna black out. We don't know if you're gonna say you're not happy here. We don't know if you're gonna not play.
Right.
Like, not saying that all your situations that you've been in was your fault, but when you start stringing shit along, it's like, oh shit, Chicago, Minnesota, Philly, like Miami, like everywhere you go. Not saying that that's what's happening, but
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I like to look at this shit a little bit deeper. It's something going on with JB. I hope he's good. But when you start talking about I'm not happy and my joy is gone, that you start losing your confidence, you start losing your love for the game. And I see that Jimmy has lost his love for the game. And this is unlike Jimmy. Jimmy is a workaholic. Jimmy works extremely hard, 4 or 5 times a day, 5 in the morning. He's very disciplined. I've seen him. I've been around him. This ain't the Jimmy that I know. Something is going on with Jimmy, and people need to get in front of that. Pat, the best thing to do is just part ways, man. Like, because this shit, this is gonna get ugly because Jimmy is not a guy that's gonna back down.
Right. You got too
He gonna
strong
start forcing his way, and then if you don't trade him during the deadline, that Miami shit gonna get nasty. They lose about 30 right now. Like they lose it. Like they're getting their ass bust.
It's a no. It's a no.
Jimmy shoot. I've never seen Jimmy shoot a corner 3.
By the way, step back off one leg.
And I've never seen him shoot. I've never seen him shoot a catch and shoot. I've never seen him shoot a catch and shoot corner 3.
We could be sitting here all day trying to figure out an actual resolution.
Nah, trade him. The resolution is trade him.
Trade him.
We got to dissolve. We got to solve this.
Where though, Melo?
parties.
Is
Where's
now
the
the thing
market
for
for
me.
Jimmy?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Where?
Pat
If
said
the
they
trade
gonna
was here, we'll be
send him.
done.
Pat been doing this for 100 years. Pat gonna send him to somewhere.
Siberia.
Yeah, okay. You want to fuck with me? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you to a place that they might think about waiving you because you don't fit the, you know what I mean, what we trying to do over here.
Right.
We in the youngest, this is a younger team. We ain't got time to deal with that. So I'm gonna send you over here to one of these teams, the Wizards.
Oof.
You want to play around.
DC's a great city for the record.
No, we love
great
DC.
city.
Bro, we love DC.
Shout out to Stadium.
But I'm just saying.
That's how you know they're not doing well. When you're like, I got good restaurants.
Yeah, you know, the nightlife is
Pat's
good.
going to send him to somewhere
Chill.
like that, and
Yeah.
that's going to be a fuck you to Jimmy. And then now you have to deal with that shit over there with that organization. So Jimmy,
That's a
chill
good-
out, man. Like just
What you about to
That's
say?
a good point too. Also, like Jimmy's 35.
That's the
right?
part.
Like, when you waste a year, or not waste a year, but when you're you're unhappy, right? You want to get moved. If that were to happen, like that situation, which you're right, Pat, anybody,
he
he's
one of
the
them
one.
ones. You know what I mean? This is a chess match.
Now your year's basically gone. Say he trades him to Washington, a year's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you got to
you've
figure it
lost-
out again.
At 35, a year's gone. Like you're not 26 anymore. You don't have like 6 more years of your prime.
Infinite runway.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Time is
and
I
that's
don't want to
needed.
see him go out like this.
no, yeah.
Because Jimmy is the type that is like, if he's not happy, he's not fucking with He's not fucking with it. Like he will completely walk away from this shit.
He'll let it be known.
He is that. So before it get to that point, Pat, come on, man.
Yeah.
What you mean before? We here.
Nah, I'm saying like Jimmy will completely walk away from all of this shit.
Oh,
you
okay.
won't see Jimmy.
All right. Yeah, I gotta
sit
sit
down. It ain't no NBA. It ain't no like you ain't gonna see Jimmy.
Okay, I got you.
He'll be fishing in Jamaica or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
You ain't gonna see him. So like the best advice,
selling coffee on the beach.
Hell yeah, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like Pat, man, just
renting
part ways.
Yeah, I don't
get him to a winning team. Like he want to go to, he want to try to win a championship.
Yeah.
Where would y'all put Jimmy right now?
Right now,
if the money's not an issue, like anywhere
team?
to make it win,
I'm sending Jimmy to the Lakers.
Best fit.
Yeah.
Lakers?
You got a veteran team. You got veteran guys on your team.
Mm-hmm.
Bron knows how to fuck with you. He know what you can bring to the team. They need defense. You bring that. You bring toughness, and you can go get it. Right? Bron don't want to have to keep going to get it all. You know what I mean? Like AD is going out there doing what he's doing. You put Jimmy alongside them.
Here's my issue with that. He doesn't want to catch and shoot. You said he don't like that. It would take some figuring out to have a lineup of LeBron, Jimmy, AD, because like if Jimmy's space and LeBron's got the ball, I'm pulled. You know how far I'm pulled in?
You can put Jimmy in a pick and roll. He's rolling short roll. You talking about utilizing.
Yeah.
You can utilize Jimmy for what he really wants to do. Like, that's Jimmy's game. You know what I mean? Jimmy's game ain't like, he can go get it one-on-one, but his game is to kill you all different type of ways. Offensive rebounds, back doors, pick and rolls, putbacks, transition. Like, then he get hot, start making a couple shots. Like, that's Jimmy's game. So if you put him in that pick and roll situation where he's hitting and he's rolling, short roll, and now he can kick out to threes, he's a facilitator in that position.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
The place he wants to go supposedly is Phoenix.
Interesting.
Because they lacking what he brings.
You're right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
which is probably not going to
Phoenix
happen
too.
The dogness.
I like they lacking what Jimmy brings.
Okay, so hear me out.
Jimmy gotta get right.
There's no better, like watching Jimmy Butler play in the playoffs.
Playoff Jimmy's different. And I'm a hater because I'm a Knicks fan. You know what I'm saying?
Hear me out.
Work of art.
They're not ready to win yet, but hear me out. Houston.
I ain't mad at that.
Man.
You home. You going back home. That's you from that area.
They got to get a little bit better shooting probably around him, but like that team, they got young athletes. They can play a bunch of different ways. Ime
is one of the best coaches.
I like Houston too for them. For him.
Yeah.
But Pat ain't gonna send you the way you want to go.
Yeah.
You know, Jimmy
Pat gonna send you to NBL in Australia. You understand? Like he gonna be like, don't fuck around with Pat. Like this is just a battle that we don't win as a player. You get what I'm saying? Like we don't win these battles as a player. Because it's levels to this.
Especially with a guy like Pat.
But yeah.
He's Machiavellian. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I personally fuck with it because as a jokester, I like Jimmy joking around. You know what I mean? But
this ain't joking.
What is also not a joke, you know what I'm saying, is lyrical miracle LiAngelo Ball. You know what I'm saying?
Got a banger right now.
Got a banger right now. You know what I'm saying?
I was like, is this
I love it.
So, listen, hip hop. You know what I'm saying? The LiAngelo has arrived with his hit song Tweaker. You know what I'm saying? People are comparing to the early 2000s Cash Money sound, you know what I'm saying? Which I kind of hear it. It's gone viral. It's in the locker rooms. It's in the NBA. It's in the NFL. It's everywhere, baby. It's a
big deal.
You know what I mean? In the bars, everywhere.
It's going to be in a commercial soon.
100%. What?
100% in a commercial.
Definitely going in LaMelo Puma commercial.
Oh, 1 trillion% better. He's going to be throwing on the lob all these rappers.
It makes sense.
Better.
So fucking with it or fuck out of here.
Fuck with
Tweaker
it.
is the hottest single of 2025 so far.
Fuck with it. That takes me back to wearing 5XL tall tees.
Camouflage and all that.
Pulling up to Foot Locker. Pulling up to Foot Locker 5 for $20.
Yo,
Give me the 5XL tall tees. Yeah.
That's funny.
Man, I love it. Shout out Joe, man. Shout out Joe.
Fuck with it though, man, because I'm happy that he found something that, you know what I mean? When he found happiness in, like, this shit ain't for everybody, you know what I mean? Like, everybody's journeys is different, but for him to find, like, happiness and, like, something else, and it's working right now. Like, it ain't no bullshit. He got a banger right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm happy for.
It's a very talented family.
You know what's great about them?
Yeah.
Like, and I know LeVar was, he was dominating headlines. Every time I've talked, I mean, Jello was in Detroit for camp with us one time. Every time I've talked to any of the Ball brothers, great dudes.
Yeah.
Like super,
1000%.
That whole
like
LeVar
cool,
thing got
like personable, like down to earth, humble. You know what I mean? Like they know what they can do, but they're great dudes. Like I feel like this image got created of them outside of their control.
He was before his
for
time.
sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
It was a couple years before the LeVar time
Yeah.
that he came.
They was like
Yeah.
the first little family with a reality show.
All that.
Brothers, all that.
Like, if he now
Yeah.
he's stepping in the game now with all of this freedom of
Platforms, companies,
baby.
all that.
you
Yeah.
can really orchestrate and like.
Yo, run it back, man. Zoe back, baby, after 1,000 games off. You know what I mean?
And so we talk about careers, like to see Zoe back hooping like the way he is, to see LaMelo hooping, like as a father, nigga, I'll be sitting back like, man, I told you, motherfuckers.
Never lost.
Y'all ain't believe me.
I told you, motherfuckers. You know, now I told you, motherfuckers.
That's it, big baller brand. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
dope that all of us could be in this brotherhood that we have. Like we all rocking.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yo, Amazon, you see these reps, yo. You know what I'm saying? He's getting it in. You know what I mean? Yo, to close this out, Blake, man. My man, yo, shout out to my man Jimmy, you know what I'm saying? He got a jump man tattoo. We got the #1 draft pick of Team Jordan in the building.
Yeah.
But this guy right here went to a tattoo parlor called The Ink Trap. Well, first of all, if I'm going to a tattoo parlor and anything is spelled incorrectly, I'm out of there. You know what I'm saying? Because I might get listeria. Okay? So they shared a video of the craziest tattoo they did. The client got a mock-up of a Michael Jordan jersey tatted on his body. From the front, it says Bulls across his chest, along with the number 23 on his stomach, plus the NBA logo above the team name on the left, and on the man's back is Mike's name spelled out along with the number 23. Let's look at this picture right here. Whoa!
Nasty jersey.
Insane work, bro. That is the Nasty Jersey Hall of Fame all-timer. The shading on the numbers is nuts.
That's what.
That's right. That's the part that's nuts.
Yo, that is
is precision. Oh man! All right, look. Listen, this is the bonus. Fuck what the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna ask y'all, and I'm gonna ask Monica too, because you out here on TV, you got your own fans yourself. You know what I mean? How would you feel if one of your fans tatted your jersey on them
like that?
And which jersey would you be mad?
Not the second part of the question.
You know what I'm saying? If they did.
I already answered that question.
New Jersey Nets or the Brooklyn Nets, my bad. That's terrible.
That's awful.
Are you like, yo, that's cool, bro, thumbs
No.
up? Or are you like, yo, you're
that
bugging?
right there is extreme.
Having
That's
another
extreme.
man's name on your back, that doesn't work for me.
Forever.
That doesn't work
Just
for
wear
me.
the jersey.
Please,
You ain't never have your shirt off.
It's removable.
I hate it so much.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's a less permanent solution to this problem.
Oh,
Just
I
put the
hate
jersey
it
on.
so
Yo, Dick's
much.
Sporting Goods is open right now, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's
come on,
bad.
dog.
You probably get one on Amazon today.
That's
But
bad.
on the flip side of that, that's like a
Super low.
commitment. Like that's a commitment.
No, that is unwell.
I'm about to ask you, if you see
That's
somebody
medical attention.
on
I would be like, really, why did you do that?
Nah, yeah, that's-
Why did you do
yeah.
that? No.
You know what I'm saying?
Why
Face
did you
tap?
do that?
Why? Who's around him?
The
Who let him do that? Why did I would have been like, I don't do this type of shit.
the tattoo artist was in there clowning him so bad.
I don't do this,
For
dog.
sure.
Because, you know, a tattoo like that
You
takes
know,
time.
he had to be like, yeah, that's fire.
Come
That's
back.
fire.
You gotta do the
Yo,
front
that's
so
hard.
they
That's hard.
You see the shading on the numbers, though?
Yo, you see that? You got to throw a mirror like a barber? Like, you see that? That's hard right there.
No.
They don't got that. You want me to put a little Mitchell and Ness on the bottom?
No. No.
What was the question though? That just pissed me off, man.
You fucking with it or fuck out of here.
Absolutely not.
Somebody tatting the jersey that you wore on their self, on their
fuck
body.
outta here. I'm cool with a little tattoo. You know what I mean? Numbered. You know what I mean? I've seen logos on my tattoo, but not
The whole
jersey. That's nasty.
That's wild.
That's nasty work.
Yeah. If you do the shorts, you're even super nasty.
Bro, that's get out. Go, wrap the show. Cause you're out of control. Just get out the show, man. Wrap the show.
You out of control. Man, shout out to Blake Griffin, the God, you know what I'm saying, for coming in. Legendary, you know what I mean? The God, you know what I mean? But listen,
Let it rain.
you know what time it is. It's 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, baby. A Wave Sports and Entertainment Originals presented by FanDuel. Yo, listen, I tell y'all all the time, thank you for keep doing it. Subscribe to our YouTube and the podcast channels. Like, rate, review, comment, argue in the comments. I don't care. We love it. It's called engagement. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy, the Kid Mero, the Human Durag Flap. Holla at your boy. We got Monica McNutt, the one and only Carmelo Anthony, the God, and of course, our esteemed guest, Blake Griffin. Make some noise. You know what I'm saying? 7 p.m. Yo, stay tuned. You know what I mean? We'll be right back for next week with more heat.
Peace.